This is a video by Richpin. Today we're going to be removing a cigarette lighter off of a Saturn S series. This happens to be a second generation Saturn. First we need to remove this side panel right here. It just unclips by pulling on it. And if you look behind here, you can see the cigarette lighter. We're going to have to remove the wires and the nut that holds the lighter into position. I've moved back the console to give you a better look at the cigarette lighter, but you should be able to remove it without touching the console. Now, behind here is the electrical connections we have to take off. First we need to remove this one right here, which is the light. Just take the connector, turn it counterclockwise about a quarter of a turn, and it will pop right out. Now we have to take this electrical connector off the back that supplies the ground and the live current. There are two little clips right here. Just pull out on the clips and it will slide right off for you. There's the connector. Now, you can use a pair of pliers to remove this nut that holds on the cigarette lighter, or if you happen to have a 1 1/16 12-point socket, you can use that. I happen to have the socket, so I'm going to be using that. The nut is not on there very tight, so it shouldn't give you too much trouble. There's the nut. Now we have the light housing that's on here. We have to remove that. This is the housing for the light. Now we can pull the cigarette lighter right out. And that's all there is to it. The way it goes on, now there is a little tang right here, and there is a little groove in the console right here, so you have to make sure when you put it back in that that little groove lines up, and also it lines up with this light housing, just like so. And then of course the nut goes on this piece like that. Let me put it in and show you. Slide this piece in the console, line up that little tang there. Now we have to make sure we line up this with the tang. Now we can put the nut on to secure it. Tighten it up. Now put this connector back on. Just snap it in place. Take your light, put it in the light housing, turn it clockwise a quarter of a turn, and you are all done. And that's all it takes to removing and replacing the cigarette lighter in your Saturn S series.